Hello everyone, I hope everything is going well with you. Today, in this video, I want to start a new series of videos about the project management, and these videos I'm going to discuss very basic fundamental concept of project management. I'm not going to explain you the software. I'm more focused like Microsoft project that I used to provide and share in my channel. In these videos, my focus is mostly on the concept of project management, but I'm going to explain it with very simple words. Let's start. Okay, first thing to start is we need to understand what exactly is the project. Project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create unique product or services. So it can be very big, like for example creating a dam or launching a new product, new machine in a factory, implementing a plant or a factory, or it can be a very small, for example creating a personal blog or very small project. When we say a project, it doesn't necessarily mean that project should be big. It can be a very small project, but the basic principle for each project is same, no matter if it's a very big project or it's a very small project. You can apply the same principle. But you may say, I have a very small personal project. Should I apply the project management principles? Well, it depends. For example, if you have a project that it will take, for example, few days, and you already know what exactly required to do, and you're not worried about the budget, money that you are going to spend, or there is no specific deadline, then there is no urgency to use the project management concepts. Basically, the project management concepts applicable in a situation that you or your organization is under the pressure to deliver a project on time, deliver the project with certain level of the quality, or deliver the project with a specific scope to a customer, or under a specific budget. But if you are in a situation that there is no delay, basically your budget is unlimited, then it doesn't really matter. No one is going to question you about the quality, about the time of delivery. Then in this situation, the concept of project management is not going to help you at all. So this is a main concept that you need to understand, that project management is not doing the project work. Project management help you to perform the project work more efficiently. Okay, we discussed about the definition of the project. I try to explain you a key concept, that project management concept is applicable for project when we are under pressure for time, for cost, for deliveries, for qualities, and to meet these boundaries. Basically, to meet these boundaries, we need to use project management. Project management basically can help us to deliver a project within those boundaries. Okay. So one of the basic questions that you as a project manager at the beginning should answer to yourself is, do we really need to apply project management concepts or not? Let's say the project management concept is required. So what is next? What is the next step when there is a project? The first step, if I want to count the very detailed process like RFP, proposal, project charter, I can say a scoping of the project, definition of the scope of the project is very important. And scoping phase in a project basically means what exactly we need to deliver, we need to provide for the project, what exactly we need to do to deliver the project. And normally there is a concept that we say we need to define the project. We need to start with the WBS, or work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure, you can Google it, you can find many definition, many even techniques, approach, top down, bottom up, moving from different sides, but the main important here is for you to understand the key concept of the work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure is saying basically, if you, the very famous quote is, if you want to eat an elephant, okay, if you want to eat an elephant, the only way to do that is to break it down into the pieces, then eat each pieces separately, right? You cannot eat the whole elephant at once. So same concept here is also applicable. When you want to do the project, to understand the scope of project, you need to break it down. To break down the project, as I mentioned, there are different approach, as I said, top down, bottom up, or trying to define the scope from different angles. But let me simplify that for you. Let's say in example, let me give you an example here for you. Let's say what we want to do is to create a website. Okay, very basic website. Let's say this website is our project. Okay, we just want to have a website. These are the bottom at the bottom of, but these are buttons at the bottom of the page, some text, blah blah, one page blog. Let's say one page blog. There is a guy here. This is the image, for example. Okay, this is a website. You need to define the scope for this website. If I want to break it down, there is no one. You cannot have only one way to break it down. You can look at the project from different angles and try to break it down differently. One approach is, for example, let's break it down like website has UI, user interface. So let me say this is a project web, and I break it down to let's say user interface. Okay, but the website is not only the user interface, and it also has server or backend for the website. This is the backend. Okay, this is so. What I did is I broke the website in two parts, two separate work package. One work package is the UI interface, user interface. Another, or front end basically. Another is the backend. Okay, the server side, the microservices that we have on the, for example, the API that we may have, and all the UI. So two separate sections. Then maybe I try to break it down that, okay, on the UI, then I have what I need is, let me break it down that to more pieces. Let's say I'm going to say that, okay, on the UI I'm going to have a personal page, then I have or user profile, better if I say user profile. Then I break it down to, for example, shop. Okay, then I'm going to have another page for, I don't know, blog, maybe a blog for news. okay. And for the back end, maybe I break it down to APIs, okay, database, and maybe reports, the reports that it's required to generate from backend side. It's just an example, and if you need, you can try to break it down more. This is one way to break down the website project, okay? But another person may break this project with different approach. Here I try to break it with the user front end, back end, then separate pages on the UI. I'm also from backend, the API, database, and reports. But another user may try to look at this project same. Let me change the color. Same again. Web, but try to break it with a different approach. For example, this person may say, okay, I have a project, this is a website, and this website should have different functions, should support different functions. Maybe it's break it to shopping, then news, and maybe what was that? Maybe only these two. Even maybe it's not necessary to have shopping, two separate functions. So the perspective of the second person is to look at the website and say, okay, on this website I want to have one business unit for shopping, another one is for blogging and news. Okay, the difference here is, here it's only consider the UI, here is considering the whole process, the business function. For here you may break it down. Okay, now for shop you may say, I need API. I need API for purchase, the payment gateway, right? The payment gateway, for example. Then I need API. You may say user profile. Then you may try to define support. Okay, support. And for the blog you may say and database, DB. Here you may say again DB, but this database is for the blog, this database is for shopping, and posting new contents. Okay, so what I'm going to say is, different people with different perspective, by different previous experience on the project, can define the work breakdown structure separately. But at the end, the important question is, either if you try to draw the WBS like this or like this, let's say this is A, this is B, at the end the scope for A and B should be same. If there is a work package, if there is one module, if there is a process, if there is a UI, if there is any entity that should be part of the scope but not defined inside of the work breakdown structure, either E or B, then that work breakdown structure missed the scope of project. Or if there is something that you defined, I don't know, maybe here you define something, but you don't need to deliver this one. If it's not part of the contract, not part of the project, if there is something that you defined as a work package inside of work breakdown structure, but you don't need to deliver it, it's also a mistake. It's like in project management we call it kind of gold plating. Deliver something extra to the customer when it's not required. It's also something wrong. One purpose of the work breakdown structure, one intention of having the work breakdown structure is to identify what exactly we need to deliver for each project. And another intention is to prevent delivering something that is not part of the responsibility of the project. So we need to be careful. Whatever we define in work breakdown structure, we need to deliver it as part of the project. So we should not add something that should not be part of the scope, and we should not miss something that should be part of the scope for the project delivery. Okay. So one of the initial steps in project management in defining the scope is you as a project manager or whole project team sit together, try to define the scope of the project. Remember, sometimes it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky when you in a company, for example, you say you will see normally you will see what happened is there is an RFP. Okay, there is an RFP, and for the RFP normally there is a proposal, right? So you have a RFP, you have proposal. Okay, so normally someone submit the RFP, and based on the RFP they will receive a proposal, that the proposal should cover the RFP, right? And for example, the one company A submitted the RFP and company B provided the proposal to cover the RFP. Then they sign a contract, and when you have the contract, let's say here contract, right? So what happened is company A provide the, where is it here? Company A submit the RFP, company A, company B. Company A submit the RFP, company B provide the proposal and basically provide a response for the RFP and submit it. And then company A say, okay, your proposal is good, and they are going to, for example, sign a contract. Okay, once they sign the contract, they are going to initiate the project. When they start the process for the project, normally in your project team managers, this has happened for the project managers, that they are saying, why you want us to start drawing the work breakdown structure? Everything is available in the RFP, everything is available in proposal, we always should rely on these two documents. What they are saying is correct. What they are saying is the contract, the contract is based on the RFP and proposal, right? But anyway, no matter what, you need to have work breakdown structure. And understanding why, when you have detailed RFP, when you have detailed proposal, when you have the contract, still you need to define work breakdown structure. Why it's essential, why it's important, is by drawing the work breakdown structure, by going into details to draw work breakdown structure. It's basically you are going to confirm, because your work breakdown structure should be aligned with the proposal and RFP and contract, right? It should be aligned. When a project manager try to provide the WBS and get approval on the scope and the work breakdown structure, I don't want to go into the details because there are some other documents like project charter, project scope statement, and these documents. I don't want to go on details. Let's focus on essentials and the basics, which is from my point of view, which is here is work breakdown structure. When project manager provide this one and then double check with the contract and double check with the RFP and proposal and see, it seems like it is cover the contract, it is cover the proposal and align with the RFP, then it means project manager understanding on the scope of project is aligned with the contract. And that's a very, very important point. That's a very important point, because many times it happened that project manager try to deliver something, and it happened that the final delivery not aligned with the contract because of misunderstanding, because of misinterpretation, and this scoping phase in project reduce the risk of these cases, right? So no matter if you have detailed proposal, detailed RFP, detailed contract, no matter what, the work breakdown structure is kind of mandatory. I'm not going to say 100% mandatory, because work breakdown structure is not always mandatory. There are some specific cases that work breakdown structure you can ignore it, you can skip it. I don't want to go in details of those cases, but I'm going to give you a hint. Very important. If you are willing to go deep in the concept of project management, if you are really love project management, there is a book, the effective project management. Okay, this is a book. Remember, consider this book as a Bible for project management. Let me. The effective project management, Dr. Kawisuki, if I remember his name. Here, this is the book. Effective project management, traditional, agile, and extreme. It's an amazing book, but I'm not sure if, I think the third edition, 2003. It evolved. It become, from my point of view, it become a little bit more complex in most recent versions, but version 2003, if I remember correctly, version 2003 is an amazing book in project management. Every project manager should read this book, and I'm recommending this book to anyone who's working in the field of project management. It's an amazing book. It's an and you need to consider that this book is written like 25 years back. I think the first version was before 2000 or around 2000, I don't remember, but you can just remember, you can try to find the third edition, the 2003, and it's an amazing book. It's an amazing book. Why I said this? Because in this book you will learn that there are three types of project: traditional, agile, and extreme. And in the concept of extreme project management, you will see that the work breakdown structure is not required. But keep this point aside. You can ignore it for now. It's a very advanced topic. You need to be a master of this point, then say, okay, I don't need WBS because my project type is extreme project management. It's a very advanced topic. So for now, let's say the work breakdown structure is mandatory. Okay, but as I mentioned, you can check this book and see that there are some cases that it's not necessary to provide the work breakdown structure. Okay, so what will happen is, based on the contract, you're going to daily provide the WBS, right? And as I said here, based on the different experience of the project manager, previous experience, based on the methods available in the company, or perception of the project manager on the scope, you can have different style of work breakdown structure. For example, for same contract, different people can define different style of work breakdown structure or WBS. And it's not really important if you draw it like this. You can draw it from left to right. For example, in Microsoft project, as you know, you can define the WBS from left to right by creating the summary task and their intent. And okay, so now let's say you have the WBS. Now let's say, I think here, because this is the first time I'm using this tool, I found it very nice. I'm going to learn it more. I think I can feel it, right? No. No. I should be able to. Yes. Okay. Maybe another color. Yeah. Let's say this is an example. This is just an example. Let's say you draw the work breakdown structure, and you have like this, right? Like this. Okay, it's not necessary, it's not always necessary to have full layers. This is layer 1, this is layer 0 with level 0, this is level 1, and this is level 2. Okay, so we draw the work breakdown structure in 3 levels. What is the next step? What is the next step in project management when you draw the work breakdown structure? You specify the work package of your project. At the end, you need to, as I said, the purpose, it's very important. The purpose of the work breakdown structure is to make sure everything in the scope of project is available and presented in the work breakdown structure. So we should not have any work package that is not part of our contract. We should not have anything inside of the contract, any deliverable, any responsibility inside of the contract that is not mentioned or reflected into the work breakdown structure. Okay, so the scope that we define as work breakdown structure should be completely aligned with the contract, RFP, and proposal. Okay, so let's say at this step you reach to the confident level that you have a very tuned, very aligned, very completed work breakdown structure. The next step in project management concept is to identify the tasks. The task in project management identify from the lowest level of each work package of work breakdown structure. So, and let me apply a code. Let's say use this color maybe. Let's say I call this project A, right? Then if I want to apply coding, we call this WBS coding. This is level 0. This is the second level, level 1. You can see this one is A. This A is coming from previous level. Then I have a separator. Then this separator is specify the separation between the levels. And then, for example, here it can be number 01. This one is a 02. This one is a 03. This one is a 01. This one is a 01, 02. This one will be a 01, 03. This one, there is no work package under this one, and this one is a similar to previous one, 0301. This one, the WBS code will be a 03 and 02. Okay, so these are the codes that I'm giving to each work package in WBS. Then, as I said, for each work package, let's say for each work package, now I need to, because I broke the project down to smaller pieces, now I can have more focus on a specific work package and try to break it in smaller piece, which we can call a task, and define the required task to be done to complete that specific work package. Let's say, for example, here I can break it down to, let's say, 5 tasks. T1, task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, task 5. Okay, and you will do it for each work breakdown structure separately. Important point is you cannot break it into one. If you identify a task under a work package, it should be at least 2. Okay, you cannot break it into one. You at least should have 2, right? Let's say this one is 4. Okay, so I do not name this, but you can imagine T1, T2, T3, T5, and same apply for this. By doing this, and definitely you will not break this one because it's already broken into three pieces, right? If you suddenly you identify, okay, there is a task for this one that is not mentioned here and it's related to this one, it means that you missed to have another work package. Okay, so normally the task, let me highlight this, these are tasks inside of the project, and you identify the task in your project from lower level of the work breakdown structure. So, and you can have a session with different team experts. You can look at the data from previous projects and try to identify the tasks related to your project. Okay, I think for today in this video, we covered we progress enough. In next video I will discuss about what you need to do next. I hope my purpose in this video was only to first of all, this is a very basic fundamental videos. The purpose of these videos is to teach project management to people who are not who they don't have any background for project management, and I try to explain these topics as simple as possible. But if you have any question, just try to drop the question in the comment. I will try to answer. I may even try to record another video to explain them further, but for you the important part was to understand the concept of work breakdown structure, to understand that each person can have different style for work breakdown structure. I mean, two person can draw different project work breakdown structure for the same contract, same scope. It was very important to understand why we need to draw WBS, why we need to do the project manager also need to do the scoping, although the RFP and proposal is clear, detailed enough. I also mentioned this book, this amazing book, okay, as a reference, because WBS is not mandatory in all cases. Then I'll also explain you the simple logic for coding the WBS, and same coding will happen for the task as well. So these tasks, for example, T1, the code for T1 will be A010101. For example, this task here, the code will be A030101. And I also explained how you identify the task at the end. So basically you focus at the end, when you draw the work breakdown structure, you focus on each work package separately and try to identify the task required to cover that work package. So if all these tasks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is completed, then you can say this work package is also completed. Okay, I think we're good for today. I think I can draw this line, consider this as session 1. Session 1. Okay. In next session, I think we move to the discussion on how to get the estimation and how to provide the project schedule, and I will try to continue the concept of project management for different phases, and I will try to explain the concepts in very, very simple terms. Also, it would be nice if you can follow all my other videos for Microsoft project, and I think if you try to watch these two series together, it will help you a lot to understand this concept and also understand how to use the software. Thank you very much, and have a good day.